What is going on, everybody? My name is Wally the Crypto Hunter, and welcome to my stream. Hope everyone has had a great weekend so far. So, I am going to get into the FTX news. I want to hear some opinions, what you guys think about it. And hold on, give me a second. Let me share my screen. All right. Well, the first screen I'm going to show you is actually the chart because it looks like it keeps dropping more and more. And we have Steve in the house. Steve the Canadian. What's going on, bro? Eddie turned in the house. What's going on, Eddie? My wife. Hey, babe. How are you? Smash that like button and sub. I appreciate that. I don't care about FTX stuff, but I'm here. Nah, I appreciate you, Steve. Hey, Waddy. Hey, Steve. What's going on, Marty? uh, Sonia, hi. Oh, hey, Sonia. Eddie, Marty. Hey, Eddie. So, yeah. And if you hear some background noise, I apologize. My mom is in the kitchen doing some dishes. But yeah, FTX is looking from bad to worse every day. First is that obviously CC sold a big portion. There's rumors they didn't sell everything. Then CC backed out of the deal that there was proposing to him. And then Bank Fryman, or whatever his name is, SFB, filed for bankruptcy. Not only that, on top of that, they also have a hack situation going on, which obviously I cannot say that, well, I cannot accuse nobody directly, but in my opinion, it has to be an inside job. That's all I'm saying. Because $600 million started disappearing off the exchange. Now let's look up. Oh, and look at this guy right here. He tried to pay $100,000 to get approved for KYC just so he could take his money out of the exchange. Smart guy, but I don't know. Let's see what else is new. I believe that he did get arrested earlier. Cut ties. Oh, this is news. This just happened now. Okay, so so I could watch the chat and also watch. Here. Okay. My name has been changed like 10 times. I know, babe. I know. Okay, so over here it says, following the announcement that the cryptocurrency exchange FTX will declare bankruptcy in Miami-Dade County, and the Miami Heat stated in a recent press release that they would be ending their commercial partnership with FTX. Yeah, guys, don't mind me. I just finished drinking soda, and every time I drink soda, I have like a transformer in my throat or something. Which that is why I shouldn't drink it, but I still drink it because soda is good. With FTX adding to the list of corporation cutting string with the Trouble Exchange, the county and NBA franchise announced in a statement that they plan to find a new naming right partner for the facility. The statement said, in part, the report regarding FTX and its affiliate are highly upsetting. FTX in turmoil. Sam Bankman Fried, the CEO of FTX, resigned after the Bitcoin market crash. The staff can now cancel the FTX naming rights agreement with the county government to the company default and start looking for another sponsor per the contract. Some compare it to bank runs that occur at the beginning of the Great Depression. People utilize FTX as a bank to purchase cryptocurrency using US dollar, then using that money to over leverage the coin they had invented. FTX made some questionable financial action. Now, let me stop that right there. Just based on the mini video that I did a couple of days ago, which I believe that was my last video. Obviously, I didn't get no likes or anything on it because a lot of people still favor FTX. I'm not mad about that. But was I freaking right? Hell yeah. Did the chart dump dramatically? Yes. Did I even say, obviously, I'm supposed to say not financial advice, but did I say I wouldn't touch it? Correct. Why? Because it smells like Celsius, Voyager, and Luna Classic all over again. Now, anybody that already experienced everything that happened there knows exactly what I'm talking about. Is it possible that this still continue going down? Big possibility. Why? They already filed for bankruptcy. They really don't have people supporting them. Bank Fryman reached out to Elon Musk. He didn't do it. He reached out to CC. He didn't do anything either. So right about now, unless somebody as rich as them can actually back him up, I'm sorry to say, to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't see this climbing back up. I get that a lot of people there are more into by the dip, by the dip is going to recover. Is it possible? Maybe. In my opinion, and only my personal opinion, no. I don't think this token is going to go back up to the 20 or the $50 mark, especially when you're losing the trust of every investors. And one of the reason why I say that is because exactly that. When a project loses the investors' trust, how are you supposed to get back up? Just common sense. We got Racket Club in the house. What's good, Waddy? Times Steve, Sonia, times Eddie, times Marty. We got Lazy Jedi in the house. What's going on, bro? So, yeah, that's just my opinion on there. and what's going on with FTX. Um, do I see any new news other than this one? What they were doing, which was over leveraging. Um, So the action deterred Binance, a sizable firm considering buying the whole business. People staged a run on the firm, withdrawing their investment after Binance opted not to purchase FTX due to financial uncertainty. CC did a smart move. The corporation has declared bankruptcy and is currently 8.18 billion in debt, endangering the reputation of FTX Arena. Before announcing the counting break with FTX Miami Dade, County Major Daniela Levine Cava said it's a changing scenario for FTX. Naturally, we're keeping a careful eye on it and looking at every option for preparation. We don't have any immediate concern, but we must ensure we have a firm with the arena's name. So it says right here, the party stipulated on page 87 of the contract that in the event of a default, the county may revoke the contract, seek a new name sponsor, and persuade damages through the bankruptcy procedure. The next step might be challenging since 8 billion in obligation needs to be resolved throughout the bankruptcy process. Weeks remain until the corporation was required under the agreement to pay 5.5 million, and still all of the transpire. It was approved by Miami-Dade County Commissioner approximately a year ago. The county was slated to get 90 million throughout the 19-year contract after the Miami Heat and the contract broker take their cut. The county will receive less than 10 million. So here comes the ripple effect. FTX ripple effect. The Golden State Warrior, Miami Heat, Naomi Osaka, the MLB, Tom Brady, Steph Curry, and other prominent organization and athlete are just a few of the association that FTX has tied with. Brady, Curry, and Osaka are three players that suffer financial losses due to the most recent FTX meltdown. Curry signed his first contract in cryptocurrency industry with FTX in September 2021, and he expressed his enthusiasm for the cooperation in a press statement. On the other hand, Osaka, what's going on, Daniel? How you doing, bro? Daniel, if you want a link, let me know, man. On the other hand, Osaka acquired a share in FTX in March on the long-term arrangement that paid her in digital currency. Curry Warriors also have a relationship with FTX because the exchange has committed to pay the club 10 million in December 2021 as part of an international right deal. Whew. So this thing just keeps getting okay, not better in the sense that it's actually getting better, but it just keeps getting worse. Now, I saw another news where it says that Bank Fryman they got arrested, but then there's also some other news that his daddy is handling the problem for him. and he is actually in a beach right now living the life. So, yeah, that has to hurt. What I see there, nothing against SFB, but realistically speaking, it was just a mishandle money situation. I mean, the guy, from what I understand, is only 30 years old. So, with that much money in his pocket, I guess he didn't know what to do with it. Let's just be honest with that. So, let me see real quick. Give me a second, guys. So, the chart that we see here, eventually, with everything that's going on, I mean, if a miracle happens, then so be it. More than welcome. But if it doesn't, then yeah, we know why it didn't happen. So let's just say, and I'm not trying to be negative, I'm just being realistic. Let's just say that there is a lot more to the story, especially with regulation. You know, rules has been broken. There will be certain measures to be taken, and unless they really have all the money to pay that back, then cool. If they don't, it's just a total shit show, in my opinion only. All right, so moving on from that, let's see what other news is out here. And yeah, you could tell I've been reading a lot about FTX and what's going on. But I want to see what other news is out there other than that. I keep on hearing about this other project that's supposed to be launched, but I really can find information about it anywhere else. DNA design in the house. What's going on, bro? See, look, investor pay 100K bribe to FTX official to bypass KYC and withdraw funds. FTX filed for bankruptcy. All that is old news. FTX EU license at stake as asset freezes, fuel crisis. Yeah, majority of the thing today is just being covered by FTX. I read this article too where Justin's son tried to give a helping hand, and I'm guessing he got a big fat no. And let me see, step back, lay off more staff. Coinbase is laying off people. A U.S. law firm investigating. This is what I was talking about. Regulations, baby. So they're about to class action lawsuit. Ouch. Um, Okay. U.S. Senator demanding better consumer protection after FTX collapse. The U.S. Senator have decided to continue with the SBF back bill despite the almost imminent collapse of FTX. According to the latest news report, the legislation is set to protect digital consumer from cryptocurrency am- ambiguity. Okay, that's a new word for me. English is my second language to my defense. FTX collapse. Amid FTX collapse, let me see. No, I didn't, bro. Not at all. But what's going on there? Amid FTX collapse, U.S. Senator Debbie Stabenow and John Boozman have redoubled their effort to publish a final draft of the Digital Commodity Consumer Protection Act 2020 DCPA. The crypto community wasn't sure how the senator would react to the FTX crisis for a brief period because it is believed that FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried strongly backed the DCPA bill. However, in statement, so this is interesting because there's a rumor that the reason why they tried to take down FTX was because he was willing to fully comply with regulation and everything else, which would leave other exchange behind. Now, this right here kind of makes sense because it says he strongly backed the DCCPA bill. Interesting. However, in a statement released on 10th of November that stated the events that have transpired this week reinforce the clear need for greater referral oversight of the digital asset industry. The member of the U.S. Senate Committee on Agricultural, Nutrition, and Forestry confirmed their intention. Debbie Stabenow, chair of the U.S. Senate Agricultural Committee, stated on Thursday that legislation needs to be passed by the U.S. Congress. She further argued that the committee would stand firm in advancing the Digital Commodities Consumer Protection Act to bring safeguard to the digital commodities market. It is time for Congress to act. The committee remain committed to advancing the Digital Commodities Consumer Protection Act to bring necessary safeguard to the digital commodities market. This week, FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried disclosed that his exchange was experiencing liquidity crunches. Later report claimed that FTX and Alameda Research, another business Bankman-Fried funded, had mixed up consumer funds withdrawal from FTX exchange have been suspended due to a nearly 10 billion hole. A related company, FTX US, informed its client that it might stop trading in the upcoming days. More on the story. In addition, Rep. Maxine Water, DCOF, who chairs the House Financial Service Committee, said in a statement that FTX.com, a central international cryptocurrency platform, is the latest example in a string of incidents that involve the collapse of crypto organizations and the impact of failure embedded on investors and consumer. Currently, FTX, FTT token are worthless and customers cannot access their funds. Therefore, it's evident that digital currency entity function without consumer protection and federal oversight. He is also shared a thread describing the ambiguity accumulated in the catastrophe. The crypto sector has been operating with far too much ambiguity because regulators refuse to give well-meaning actors clear guidance and lawmakers refuse to act. Let me see here. Get in with a little money, make some money, jump out of whatever coin. There's always somebody trying to make money off your back. So make your first and run. You know what, DNA? I was talking in a Twitter space about that exactly. Okay, so this is the thing about crypto that I'm starting to understand. Yeah, when you hold, there's a possibility that you could have that financial freedom and wealth that you're so much looking for. But what I am understanding is after Luna Classic, after Celsius, after Voyager, and now this, what I'm understanding is that unless you put a stop loss to whatever you're holding, then yeah, you're taking the risk of going through this that everybody's going through. Or, like you say yourself, make your money, run. That's it. Rev. Patrick McHenry, RNC, the chair of the House Financial Service Committee, said that he had advocated 4 years of Congress to develop a clear regulatory framework for the digital asset environment that includes trading platforms. The recent event demonstrated the necessity of congregational action. For him, Congress must establish a framework ensuring Americans have adequate protection while also permitting innovation is thriving in the US. He further declared on looking forward to learning from Binance and FTX in the coming days about these events and the step they are taking in customers protection and transition. Sen Elizabeth Warren wasn't left out as she left a tweet that provoked a backlash from various executives, including Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, who said that regulators push crypto traders to the corner by not providing clear rules for companies to evade by. All right, so there goes two news that I found very interesting, and that's it. Now, as far as the crypto market itself, everyone is boring, but we'll see. Oh, and we have a guest in the house. What's going on, Daniel?
What's up, Waddy? What's up, everybody else? How's everybody doing?
Good, good, bro. And you?
Man, I'm doing all right. Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I had to do a stream today, man. I felt bad. I didn't do one yesterday, but I told you only a little bit. So I took, people would think it's actually prescription pills, people. So I took these meds and I didn't read the part that says take one before bedtime. Bro, I had the biggest dizzy spell from yesterday all the way until today. When I text you, I'm just
Yeah.
recovering. Literally, I'm just getting over the side effects.
Damn.
Yeah. So,
Damn.
yeah. So yesterday, it's funny because my wife said, "Are you gonna stream?" I'm like, "No," because if I stream, I'm probably gonna look like a zombie in the street. Julia.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but what's going on, Daniel? How's everything, man?
Man, everything's good. Everything's good, you know. Enjoying the weekend. Um, getting some of these trading strategies together for the upcoming week, looking at the market, doing some analysis on some stuff, and dealing with these fools on Twitter. That's about it.
Okay, okay, cool. Now, what you think about the whole FTX situation, bro?
Well, I've been making videos about this thing since the thing started. It's a mess. It really is a mess. It's gonna have a lot of downstream effects. Sam Bankman-Fried and that crew, man, they were a bunch of
Kids with money, bro.
they were
That's
a bunch of kids running an exchange. I mean, if you listen to the girl who was the CEO of his other company, Almerita, and man, she was talking about she didn't need to do math to do her job. She didn't need to. Didn't believe in stop losses, and now I don't like to dig into personal lives and whatever people got going on in their personal lives is their business. But now
yeah,
there's reports that him and a bunch of and her and a bunch of other people were living in the Bahamas together, and they were all, you know, having sex together, a big sex party. I mean,
yeah. It's funny because I actually heard about that, but I
and,
was like, that,
and
yeah. But go
you,
ahead, go ahead.
I mean that stuff don't really bother me. I mean, you do what you do when you do it and how you want to do it. I mean, it doesn't affect me, right? But
Yeah,
it just goes to show like these guys were a bunch of they didn't know what
lunatics.
they were doing, and Sam Bankman-Fried, like he messed up, and he messed up a lot of people's money. This whole FTX thing starts and stops with him,
Yep.
and he's responsible for everything that happens from this point. From prior and moving forward. He's responsible. BlockFi had to stop their deposits and withdrawals. Um, there's going to be bigger fallout than that. I mean, this thing's just a mess, and it's just another black eye for crypto. It's another and Sam, how he got in so good with the government and was working so good with Gary Gensler on being able to be exempt from some of these regulations, and to have him be talking to some of these guys that are making these that are getting ready to make these regulations. He's probably the last guy you want in the room. You
Yeah.
know, any just talking to him. If you go back and look at some of the YouTube videos that he did, or some of the interviews that he did on CNBC, you could tell he wasn't the smartest tool in the shed, and you know, he's just it. He tried to stab everybody in the back. He tried to stab all the other central exchanges in the back to better FTX. And what happened was, you can only stab so many people in the back before you got to pay the price for that. And he's paying the price for that. And he came after CZ, and in business, you got to know who you're coming after. You got to know who you're doing business with, and you got to know whether you can compete with them or not. And he wasn't on CZ's level.
Yeah.
You know,
I actually spoke a little bit about that part that there is a rumor that he was all in with working with the government. So obviously, if his plan would have played out, every other exchange was going to have problems. Now, this article that I just read earlier, it says it clearly that he was going all in with the DCCPA bill.
yeah,
It's that he strongly supported it right here.
and he donated millions and millions of dollars to the to campaigns that would have allowed him to push this agenda. And he 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 was in the room when all this stuff was being done. But what he didn't realize is when this fallout happens, unfortunately and fortunately at the same time, this is going to drive regulations for centralized exchanges. It's going to drive it faster than it was already driven. And because when you have the dude from the Shark Tank uh, that has all his money tied up in FTX, well, not all of
Yeah,
it, but a large amount of his money tied up in FTX, and you have these power players that have their money in FTX, and this happens. Well, guess what? Money talks. We all know that, right?
yeah,
If
big time.
if if a smaller exchange goes down, it may not drive regulation as fast. But when you talk about all these power players with their money in this exchange, and it folds, and their money's tied up, oh, you best believe that centralized exchanges will have regulations because money talks.
Big time. Big time. Now that's what I'm actually thinking myself. What's gonna be the consequences from here on?
I've been warning people about this for a while. What's going to happen is you already see the writing on the wall before this even happened. You have the the brokers like Fidelity and everybody else already setting up cryptocurrency exchanges, right?
Yeah,
This is going to allow the government to push them crypto exchanges quicker because one, they're already involved with the government. Two, they're already trading on the stock market, and people. That's where your big institutional money is going to come, is through them because
yeah,
they're going to be able to comply with the new regulations that come out. And the new regulations that come out, it's going to be all about KYC. It's going to be all about, can you back the assets up on your centralized exchange? Um,
mhm,
that's why you see crypto.com coming out and giving proof that they can back their assets up. And, Binance coming out and saying that they're going to give proof that they can back their assets up.
yeah,
Um, and Coinbase is traded on the stock exchange, so their books are wide open. So they have to be able to back their assets up because they're a publicly traded company.
yeah,
So
big time.
these smaller exchanges that can't back their assets up are not going to be able to operate in the United States. That's going to be the fallout. In my opinion, that's going to be at the end of it all. That's how it's going to shake out.
Yeah, I believe that.
And
Hold
then the
on,
big,
with that Luddite Ink in the house, what's going on, bro? Um, what are your thoughts on Gemini? Okay, so I'll say mine and then you could say yours. Gemini has been rolling around for the longest. I don't think they're going anywhere. But after what happened with Voyager, which this is the funny thing. I don't know if you guys know, but Voyager, um, I don't know if they merged company or they just took over. Do you remember Circle? Or I
No,
don't know if you ever heard of it, Daniel.
I don't remember Circle.
Okay, so Circle actually was my first platform where I invested in crypto. Legally, US, everything, compliance, cool. So Circle got taken over by Voyager, and then I could no longer use Circle in New York. When they open up Voyager, Voyager is not accessible in New York. So Gemini, on the other hand, had been keeping it clean for a good while. The twins, so can they run the same situation that Voyager went through, that Circle went through? It's possible, but I highly doubt it. Those twins are smart as shit, and they got money, big time money.
Here's my take on Gemini because I'm from New York too, right?
Yeah,
So I use Gemini. I use Gemini actually to onboard and offboard my money. And I'll tell you, in New York, you have a choice of two exchanges. You either have Coinbase or you have Gemini, right?
correct.
I'm not a Coinbase fan, right?
Okay,
For a variety of reasons, I'm not a Coinbase fan. It started with the KYC when I had a problem KYC and I moved to Gemini. But the twins though are very smart. Gemini's not going anywhere. Gemini is
yep.
fully compliant and fully compliant with any reg that comes out, they're going to be able to comply with. Because here's what you have to understand Gemini is a power player in the stock market game, which allows them the ins and the outs to talk to these people about what's coming. So they're already ahead of the game. So, and if you don't think that these backroom talks are already happening, you're nuts because they already are. And these guys talk to each other. But Gemini is probably one of the is I have money on Gemini, so
Yeah.
that tells you like I have money on Gemini. And when Coinbase was going through their issues, um, I was happy I wasn't on Coinbase and happy that I was on Gemini. Right? You don't hear Gemini being in the news. You don't hear them with scandals. You don't hear them being insolvent. You don't hear any of that coming out of that exchange. But I will tell you, if you do plan on using Gemini, download the app, but also make sure you have an online account and trade your crypto online in the active trader account because it's pennies on a dollar compared to trading it on the app.
Oh, nice.
It's pennies on a dollar. Like you may pay, $1 or something for a transaction on the app where you might pay 2 cents if you go online and use the active trader feature.
Nice, then. Real nice. See, I haven't used Gemini for trading. When I did use it, I use it just to buy my crypto and leave it there.
Yeah, I use it a lot for onboarding and offboarding,
Okay.
but I can tell you like all my Matic is over there.
Yeah, yeah. Now, as far as Coinbase, I'm not gonna lie, man. The Even though we're paying 30, yeah, I think it's like $30 a month for the Coinbase One, they're making it a little bit more attractive because one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like using Coinbase is because their trading fee is like crazy. So with the one Coinbase One, with that plan that you pay a monthly, you got no trading fees. And they
See
are
that?
adding way more coins because I remember when I started using Coinbase, there was only Bitcoin Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, XRP, and XOM.
Yeah,
That's it.
and there's no doubt I'll probably end up at Coinbase at some point, but I'm kind of stubborn. When people don't want to cooperate with me at the beginning, I'm kind of stubborn later. But so, but I do so much on the DeFi side. Most of my stuff is just onboard and offboard, but I do keep some of the bigger cryptos on Gemini.
Oh, okay. I just canceled Coinbase One. What? Well, bro, yeah, I mean, if people can afford it, then hey, it's cool. And if you are, sorry, if you are a big fan of using Coinbase, then cool. But if you're not a fan of Coinbase, then yeah, that's a different story.
I don't even use the Coinbase DeFi wallet.
Yeah,
I use MetaMask and SafePal.
nah, I rather use Coinbase wallet because any transactions that I try to make, it's just they won't be able to do shit without my pin.
So, Racket, tell me why you canceled Coinbase One though.
Oh, he just said it. He wasn't trading enough to justify the fee.
That makes sense then. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you were paying $30 a month and you're not trading enough, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. But look at this, baby, go.
Were you looking at Waddy?
That's FTT.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I got wrecked earlier, so
What's it at now?
huh?
What's it at now?
186.
Yeah, last time I looked earlier, it was at 220, somewhere up in there.
Well, when it jumped to 235, I got wrecked.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah,
said, you know what? I'm not
but I,
touching it for today, and that's that.
you
And
know, but I really think though, like FTT, they're not making it. I mean, FTX, they're not making it out of this. They're not making it. I know they filed a Chapter 11, which is a restructuring bankruptcy, which allows them to restructure. But I don't see them guys making it out of this to be to continue to operate as an exchange. I just don't see it. I don't
funny,
see a way out for them.
it's funny you said that because I said the same exact thing earlier. Obviously, not financial advice, but with everything that's going on, first, you use your employer's money. I mean, your customer's money, over leverage. Then you file for bankruptcy. Then, knowing that your company is in danger, you try to go to two of the biggest players in the game and got rejected. And then you have a hack that, in my opinion, most likely is an inside job. So, with all that being said, and the fact that you broke the most important rule in crypto, losing your investors' trust.
Well, and and I'll say this, you know, you have to look at how this thing played out and why it played out this way to understand what to look for later, right?
Yeah.
And I think people sometimes miss why this thing played out the way that it played out and what Sam Bankman was actually doing. What he was actually doing was he was taking the deposits and the withdrawals and he was leveraging them for more money in loans and loaning them out, right?
Yeah.
But the criminal piece, I believe it's criminal, came with the FTT token itself, right? He
Correct.
took that FTT token and he over leveraged it to the company that he owned, right? To inflate the asset of the
Yeah, which
company that
is
he owned.
our
And
media, right?
what? Yeah,
Yeah.
he to inflate the books to make it look like that company was worth more. And then he did this, and when he did that, it pumped the token up, right? So when you look at the FTT token, the only utility that it had was the people that owned it got lower trading fees on FTX, and they were paid out FTT in rewards for some certain staking pools, right? Well, go back and so look at the centralized exchanges that have their own token. KuCoin's a prime example, and now people are saying KuCoin may be in trouble. Well,
Yeah.
because you have to ask yourself, what are they doing with their coin? Because it doesn't technically have utility, right? So, are they leveraging that token against their assets, right? And
Correct.
if they are, how over leveraged are they? Okay, OKX, is that the other one that has a
Yeah.
token? So every exchange that has a token that doesn't have utility with the token, you have to ask this same question that FTT just went through, right? Because rest and believe that FTX will not be the last centralized exchange to go down because of this. So when you look at Binance, for example, they don't have a token that doesn't have utility.
Of course.
BNB runs their blockchain. That's their gas token. BUSD is pegged to the US dollar, right?
Yep.
That's their stable coin. So they don't have tokens like that. And then when you look at Chronos, Chronos is the gas for the Crow blockchain, right? The Chronos
Yeah.
blockchain. So that token instantly has utility. So it's not a dead token that you're leveraging against your company. You know what I'm saying? I hope that it makes sense in my head. I just kind of, when I explain it, I just kind of hope it makes sense to everybody else. But that was the downfall of FTX. And that's the hole that Binance seen, that CZ seen, that he said, there's no way in hell that we're doing this, because technically the company that you own, the Al Marito company,
Mhm.
they own more tokens than what's in circulation. So you minted tokens and gave them to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and that's why the guy from Tron didn't want it either. You can't fix it. Their books are so out of whack, you can't fix it.
Uh, Give me a second. Logging out for the night, brother. Great show. Love the information given out tonight. Thank you, Clint. I appreciate you. Have a good night.
Clint, have a good night.
All right, so go ahead, Daniel. I'm sorry.
No, no, that's all I'll say. I didn't have
So,
anything.
yeah, I mean, it's in general and overall, like, just like you, I don't see them making it out of this. And if they do make it out of it, then maybe a miracle. That's the only thing that I could say.
Is Racket still in the chat? Give me a yes if you're
Racket
still in
left
the chat.
already.
Huh?
Racket's still here. Racket, say
Give
what's
me
up?
give me a yes if you're in the chat, Racket. I got a question for you. But yeah. So that's my take on FTX. I mean, I just don't think that there's a way out. All right, Racket's still here. Got a question for you, Racket.
Okay, he's here.
Racket, give me a yes or no in the chat. Do I make a video about Terra or not?
You know what? Let's jump on that topic too. I mean, you want to make the video, go ahead. But if you want to jump on it here too, just to give you a head start.
You know, Waddy, I don't come after people unless there's a reason for me to come after somebody, right? Like
Yeah,
I just don't intensely pick a fight. You know what I mean? So, but when your CEO comes out and says, "What's Racket say?" Yeah,
yeah, Racket say yeah.
yeah. When your CEO comes out and says that the token that you bought at pre-sale is going to be the only token in the ecosystem, right?
Yeah,
And then you find out that they're launching a new token, right?
right,
And they don't tell the community why they're launching a new token or what they're launching a new token for or what or or even the function of the new token or the taxes of the new token or why they even need it, right?
right.
No communication with the community at all.
Yeah,
That devalues and then you'll need 5,000 ETH on a pre-sale, which is 6 point something $1 million, right?
all right,
And that's going to devalue the Terra token that you currently hold because now it's no longer the single token in the ecosystem, right? But
all right,
you lied to the holders because you told the holders that this was going to the Terra token was going to be the only token. So you lied. You lied. And then you there's no communication about this new Terra token to the holders, no AMAs, there's not even a tweet on the Terra Pay Twitter page that announces a pre-sale or a token.
correct.
And then you turn around and you attack the community. You
Which
attack you attack Ryan
that's beyond a childish move. But go ahead.
you attack Ryan Patrick, you attack me, you attack Austin Austin, you attack Rodney, you block us all because we ask questions. And then it gets worse because when you look at the Terra, so let's go back and talk about what Terrarium has actually accomplished, right?
Yeah,
They've been out for 9 months. And in 9 months, they've successfully launched a Terra Pool version 1 and a Terra Pool version 2, which are both just websites, right?
correct.
No projects have launched on TerraPool except for TerraPay will be the first one to launch, right?
All
So
right,
in 9 months, nobody else wanted to launch or do a fundraiser on your platform. So, which we all know is a lie, but that just tells me that it wasn't working, right?
correct.
You're supposed to come out with your centralized exchange in November. You push it back to December 26th, right?
Hmm.
What person in their right mind launches a centralized exchange the day after freaking Christmas, right?
All right.
So Then you take your Terra blockchain and you move it back a couple weeks. So now you're completely off kilter, right? And
Yeah.
then on your roadmap, you have this thing called this Terra Pay, Terra Wallet, Terra app. They call it. They call it the Terra app, right? Which is supposed to include a credit card and payments and onboarding and offboarding to the centralized exchange and all that stuff, right?
Right.
Doesn't that sound familiar to the token that they're just going to launch? So you just took a utility and tokenized it for 6 point something million dollars, which was a utility in your initial roadmap, right?
Right.
Doesn't make sense now, does it? So
Nope.
here's the thing, and you're dumping on your community in a marketing wallet, right?
Yeah.
And if you go back to the AMA that your pop did, Milton strictly says that we're only going to use the marketing wallet if one we need to cover expenses, and when we don't need it, and once the exchange gets up and running, we're not going to need it anymore. So we're just going to burn the marketing wallet. They're burning the marketing wallet, all right. They're burning it right on top of their holders, you know, because they
Yeah.
keep dumping on that joint, right? So you got that going on. It, and the list just goes on and on and on and on and on, right? And
Yeah.
and then you got this fool on Twitter acting all crazy. Here's the thing, and I said this on Twitter. I work around a lot of CEOs every day. The only CEO role that Milton could play is in the crypto arena, because that stuff would never fly in a corporate world, right? What
I
he's
agree.
doing and what he's saying would never fly. He'd been fired. And then
So,
you and then you have and then you it gets better, Waddy. On Terra Pay, you're missing two of the devs ain't even on there from the Terra team. Dr. Williams and Dr. Romana's not even on a dev team. So did they leave Terraria? Because that was never communicated to the community.
well, this is my honest opinion on that. I think they were playing around to see what sticks. Um, Obviously, but and then this is the part that I never understand about these developers. You got something good going on. You got a community that's accepting you, that's supporting you, that's helping you out. Now, why the hell will you turn on that community?
It's about money. Do you know how much money them guys made in that marketing wallet when they screwed up when they got Nigerian Prince with Binance?
Yeah.
You have to remember every sell that happened. I think at that time it was either 2 or 3% was going to the marketing wallet.
Yeah.
They were loading up. So they got rich, you know. So in my opinion, this therapy, there's only one or two reasons for it. One, it's a
But
money grab, or two, it's a terrarium migration V2, and they just don't want to call it a V2.
okay, but then again, this is my other question. 5,000 ETH?
They're never gonna get it. That's what they wanted for the original terrarium pre-sale. If you go back and look, it was 5,000 ETH.
Yeah.
So why do you need 5,000 more ETH?
And even better, these people are professional.
You think that they're professional.
They have money according to them.
I, I,
So
I
why
believe that.
do they need more money? Why don't they just do it out of their own pocket and that's it? Call it a day. If you really want to create this other token, which doesn't make sense why they're creating it, but why not use the money that you got in your own pocket?
I don't. I believe that they have money. I believe that they're loaded. I believe that they were loaded before they ever launched Terrarium. I believe that. I don't take that from them at all. We know how much Dr. Praveen is worth just in his
Yeah.
wallet, right? So they're far from broke. But
We got crypto realists in the house. First pre-sale was 1,500 ETH. I thought for Terra.
it might have been Crypto Realist. It's been so long. I'm trying to remember what it was. Trying to go back in my head to what it was. It's been so long. It could have been that much. Could have been 1,000. But 5,000 ETH for a second token? 6 point something $1 million? What is going on?
Yeah, I mean, honestly speaking, I was thinking the same thing, and I was like, nah, this is crazy, beyond crazy.
Well, and they're already dumping in the marketing wallet to make payroll for building out a central exchange that doesn't benefit the token holders, right? It doesn't benefit the token holders at all to have that centralized exchange,
Yeah.
but the token holders are paying for it out of that marketing wallet,
Yep.
and not and now you're gonna launch another token. Come on, man. Come on, man. What's going
Well,
on, Jeremy? What's
I
going on,
I
crypto realist?
I try. What up, Jeremy? I try to stay out of it, but at the same time, man, I don't agree with what they're doing. And I can't support that either. Like especially like coming after Austin. Like, are you serious?
I mean, the thing about it is,
And then they coming after you, Ryan Patrick. No offense, but I don't know him like that. So, but you're coming at two people that are respected in the community, and for a good reason. Then I saw the lie that he tried to that supposedly Austin asked for $2 million.
no, that was Ryan Patrick that they're trying to say
Oh,
asked for
oh,
two
oh, okay.
million.
So I got shit confused. I thought he was
Yeah,
talking about Austin. I'm like, what?
yeah, no, they're RD Price is trying to say that Ryan Patrick asked for 2 million. I don't believe that. I don't believe Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah. Oh, now Racket, to your question, Bollocks Token, um, it's a project that I believe in. That's my only connection there. Have a couple of friends in the project, and I consider the CEO himself a friend, which is Derek, also known as Cryptobolics. Other than I am also an investor in that project, that's my only connection. Why you ask? Tim was a super DJ and player. The market was a 60. Okay. But yeah, I mean, if I'm real with you, I don't buy the whole Binance thing. I don't think that whether if it's Binance Chinese or Binance US, they would do such a stupidity to open up themselves to a lawsuit. Which that was my next question. Like I said, I really didn't want to get into it, but if that really did happen to them, Why didn't they make a lawsuit at a corporate level?
I,
Why were they okay with just, oh, they stole my, well, 180,000? Was it?
yeah, I think they just got Nigerian prince, and instead of just coming out and saying, "Look, we've been had," you know, their pride wouldn't let them do that, and they kept making up stories, which kept making them look dumber and dumber. But the
Yeah,
first,
but once again, it still doesn't add up. So if you, first of all, if you truly believe that a respected company just scammed you, you would have went through the right channel, because I remember correctly, damn, what was the girl's
Praveen
name?
Praveen said that they were going to sue him, and they never did.
Yeah. So where's the proof that you sue them?
Right. But I think they knew that they got had, and I just don't think that they wanted to admit it. But I think that they know that they've got had. I think they know they got Nigerian prince. But here's the thing. Here was
Oh,
my
but okay,
here
this
here.
is my problem with this one. You think they got hacked, they got played. I think they play themselves. Or you know how they say there's no honor among thieves?
Yeah,
That's what I think.
whatever happened, it was a shit show. They lost some money, whatever. I mean, there's only a couple people who are really gonna know what happened, right?
Yep.
And but yeah, there's only but when they Rodney, I'm gonna give Rodney credit. Rodney picked up on this when nobody else did, right? My
Yeah.
crypto journey, Rodney picked up on this, and when he was saying this, I was like, man, that's digging a little, that's overreading it, right? But he was actually
Okay.
right. When they said Binance reached out to them, that was a red flag for Rodney, because Binance don't know who Terra is. They don't give a crap about Terra. CZ doesn't know who Terra is.
Thank
You know
you.
what, you know what I mean? So but nobody else, like, I think that we were all blinded by our investments at the time. But
Well,
Rodney picked up on that, and Rodney said, "Well, hold on. Binance doesn't reach out to you. They're not going to reach out to you, you know, and ask you to apply to be on their exchange. That's not what Binance does." And that was his first red flag, where he was like, no, I'm out, right?
yeah.
I think I wish I would have listened to Rodney at that time. But to me, it wasn't until I really started to see these things unravel that I got out of Terra. And why do you know I had 2 bags of Terra, 2 nice sized bags of Terra, right?
Yeah.
That I started to slowly sell because I seen Saitama, right? And remember when the Saitama first came out and they tried to use Saitama as the gas, and because it was, the liquidity wasn't right, and it was a low cap token, to keep the peg with the other token was just too much. There was too much flexibility in the price. There was too much flexibility and all that. I seen the same thing with Terrarium, and I'm like, man, if they don't build their liquidity so buys and sells don't affect the chart so much, and shrink their supply dramatically, the peg for the blockchain to all these tokens are never going to work. They're going to run into the same problem Saitama did. And then the supply is not coming down at the rate that I thought it should by the time the blockchain came out. So I'm thinking, man, this isn't going to be good. This isn't going to be right.
Yeah.
So I started to slowly sell. And then Milton, when he came out with the whole email fiasco with Austin and how he handled that, I sold a little bit more, a little bit quicker. And, I've been out for a little while, you know what I mean? But I know a lot of people, it's kind of like that whole Saitama deal where I know a lot of people that are still in it.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry because some of them people I got into it and they just drank the Kool-Aid and they can't see the writing on the wall, so they won't get out.
Yeah,
But
and they still believe that Saitama is gonna make it one day.
so I want to see, I want to see Terrarium succeed because there's people that I got into that project that are still in there. Will it succeed? I don't think so.
Okay, but you see, this is my thing here. I myself, I admit it. With the experience that I have, I should have known better. Like a brand new token, yet in the meme area, that's not even moving big volume, and it's gonna be listed on Binance US. I admit it. I suckered myself into that one.
Well, and
So this is what was wrong with us.
yeah,
The
and I think
hopium, the hopium, and the need that this token might actually be good because of the supposedly professional people behind it that doesn't need the money. That's what got me.
and I think that's what got a lot of people too. Um, I think that's what got a lot of people, and that's still what gets people, and that's still what gives people hope. But and I was all in terrarium. I was all about terrarium. Like I still think that terrarium is a great. Like I said earlier, I still think terrarium's a great idea. It's doable. It's has a great roadmap. It has poor leadership and it has poor
Yeah.
communication. Uh, and they don't need another token. They don't need to tokenize a utility. Um, on the backs of the holders. They don't need to do that. And I think if when this goes through, this may sink Terrarium.
Yeah.
And it'll be their own doing. And that's just my opinion. I think that they're gonna suck money out of the Terrarium token into TerraPay. And the Terrarium token holders are gonna be the ones that are left with a lot of hopium and a lot of squashed dreams. But when you look at this, I've started to think about this over the last couple of days. And when you look at this roadmap, when you look at how things unfolded for Terrarium, they unfolded the same way that they unfolded for Saitama in the exact same roadmap for Terra used. Terra used the exact same roadmap that Saitama used, right? But the only difference was Saitama was setting up a decentralized swap, and Terrarium was setting up a centralized exchange. But if you look at everything that Milton said about not using the marketing wallet, but then using the marketing wallet, Russ was saying about the devs aren't selling for marketing, but yet they're selling for marketing, right?
Yeah.
And then, you look at the decentralized swap, they couldn't afford the technology to pull that centralized swap off, right? And Max wasn't going to do it. He wasn't smart enough to do. I don't want to say he wasn't smart enough to do it because I don't know Max, but whatever was going on with the SATA Max, they didn't have enough technology people behind them to pull it off, right? And
Exactly.
we'll just leave it there, right? And when you look at Terrarium, they can't afford the people to build the exchange, which is why they're killing the marketing wallet, right? And Milton admitted that in the letter. So the exact same scenario setting itself up, right? And then
Correct.
because Saitama was broke, right? They needed to hurry up and launch Seda Realty because the Lucky Root token backed out on them. So they needed to hurry up and launch Seda Realty for revenue, right? Because they didn't have a marketing wallet, they didn't have any of that. So they had to hurry up and get another project out there so they can get some revenue coming in. What's Terrarium doing? They're hurrying up and launching another token because they don't have enough revenue, right?
Yeah.
Coming into the Terrarium project. Russ and Milton are the same people. They're the same people. So ultimately, at the end of the day, when you deal with Terrarium, you're dealing with Saitama V3.
And I was saying that there, I hate to say it, but it sounds very similar. So yeah, I agree with you because to me, it doesn't make sense why they will create TerraPay as a new token instead of keeping the original token, Terrarium, and be able to use it for TerraPay, and we'll be able to use it for the exchange native token. And if the roadmap, because if I remember correctly, they were trying to have their own blockchain eventually.
Comes out in December now. I'm not December, but late 2023, third or fourth quarter, something like that.
Yeah, but the point is this, dude, what are you doing? On top of that, let's take it to a business level. You're supposed to be a professional. You over here acting like a freaking 9-year old or a he said she said type of situation.
Well,
So yeah,
in my thought about the new token is I said it before, they're only launching it for one or two reasons. Either they need an influx of cash right now to finish what they started because they don't have enough money. So it's a money grab. Or it's a migration V2 without calling it a migration V2 because who's going to buy TerraPay?
well, that's one thing that I pointed out in Austin stream. The minute that Terrapay gets released, who's gonna be interested in buying into Terrarium? Not even the developer themselves is going to be interested in trying to pump it or hold the floor or whatever it is that they're trying to do.
The people that are going to buy TerraPay are the same people that are invested in Terrarium.
No, I
And
get that, but what I'm trying to say is,
in
okay, you're gonna create a new token. You want a way out. You want people to believe in you. How about this? Take that 500 ETH, do it yourself. Don't get the community involved. On top of that, give the people that has the Terra already exchange their Terra one by one ratio to the new Terra Pay. Make Terrarium disappear, get Terra Pay as a new token. You give your investors what they need. You pump up that chart, and everybody's a happy camper.
here's why they won't do that. There's a tokenomic fundamental reason why they won't do this. The team tokens are locked for another couple months. And there's like two, I don't know, some odd, like maybe 200 quad locked up for team tokens, right?
Yeah.
crazy amount of money, right? They need them team. They're not going to sacrifice them team tokens because they want them team. That's their money, right? So
Correct.
they're going to try to keep terrarium going long enough to get them team tokens and be able to sell off at a slow rate where they don't think people are going to notice that they're selling them team tokens, or they're going to do exactly what you just said. They're going to unlock them team tokens, call it a V2 over to TerraPay, and give everybody a 1-for-1 or whatever the exchange is, and them team tokens are going to be included in that exchange, so the team doesn't lose out on their portion of the pay, right?
Yeah.
So they can't call this a V2 and they can't call this a migration because them team tokens are still locked up.
Yeah. Now, another concern that I have is their LP is going to be unlocked pretty soon, right?
Yeah. Well, I think what is it? February? Something like that. January, February, something like that.
Yeah. So that's another concern. Like, you know, I don't want to point fingers directly, but realistically speaking, your actions speaking louder than your words right now. So, what guarantees that when that liquidity pool unlock, they don't do a hit and run?
I think that they have too much money tied up into it to do a hit and run.
Yeah,
Um, I think that they're too invested in it for that. But
well, technically speaking, the only one that's really invested in it,
is Dr. Praveen.
Doctor, exactly.
So,
That's if it's 100% true. Because last time I recall, he said that he was gonna hold on to it for at least 7 years.
well, he said he was going to hold on to his pre-sale wallets for that long. So
Yeah,
I'm going to give the doctor credit where it's due, right? Because I've
yeah,
lasted him enough. I'll give him credit where it's due. He has not sold that I'm aware of, right? And I always preface that by I'm aware of. I'm not a blockchain expert, right? But nobody has shown me proof where he hasn't sold out of his pre-sale wallets. Now I've seen transactions out of his personal wallet, right? After the pre-sale, when he was buying the dip, I seen him sell out of there, which I don't care about that, right? Because that's your personal wallet. You can do what you so choose in your personal wallet,
yeah,
right? That's not what you promised the investors. What you promised the investors was that you would hold on to the 108 pre-sale wallets. And to my knowledge, that's what he's done. And here's the thing. If you look at the liquidity pool right now, it's almost equal to the amount of his 108 wallets.
interesting.
So when they say that he's holding the floor, he is literally holding the floor. Literally.
Okay, yeah,
So so he actually may be down right now on his investment from pre-sale. So but when they say he is hold, like if he decides that Milton has pissed him off enough that it's time for him to walk away,
he's gone.
that project is over.
Basically, the same repeat of Saitama.
But
Because Saitama started dumping even more when he decided, you know what, I'm not gonna continue losing money.
so Terrarium, and this is going to be controversial when I start saying it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Terrarium right now looks like Saitama V3. They're doing everything. I just laid that whole thing out for you, right? If anybody disagrees with what I said about how this thing was laid out, about how Saitama ended up where they ended up versus how Terrarium is right now,
Yeah.
please comment and tell me what you disagree with. But they are following the same roadmap, so you might as well be invested in the same project.
Yeah.
The
Now I'm
only
sorry. I just saw an alert, and that probably explains why this shit is dropping like crazy.
what happened.
So I just saw a quick alert. It said that SBF pretty much did a backdoor on everyone. So he played everybody, which goes back to what I was saying earlier. Um, that hack had to be an inside job.
So they're calling it an inside job now.
Yeah, that's, I mean, just from the name of the alert, it says as SBF backdoor us.
So I wonder if they pulled some blockchain proof of him moving money.
It must have.
Where's Crypto Realist at? We need him on that blockchain. We need him on that. Where you at, Crypto Realist? We need you on that blockchain, baby. I miss Jeremy. I wish he would start streaming again.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken about it a bit, and he wants to do other streams, which is in both his bike and everything, but he's not getting rid of his crypto channel.
Man, I miss Jeremy, man.
Yep.
I Jeremy was one of the first YouTubers that I listened to when I got into crypto. Like when I was really starting to find YouTube for crypto.
Yeah.
You know, he was like one of the first ones that I like felt like I could listen to and take some advice from.
Yeah, because
Um,
of, like his name, the reason why I started, like, I used to follow a whole bunch of YouTubers, and then got to the point where I started noticing who's real, who's fake, and I stopped following a lot of them, and I just started listening to Austin, Ronnie, and Crypto Rollers.
yeah, I used to listen when I first started like listening to YouTube for some, like DJM plays and things like that, because you really don't have to listen to YouTube for the blue chips, right? I mean,
Yeah,
the blue chips are the damn blue chips, right?
exactly.
It doesn't take a rocket science to figure out what the hell the blue chips are, right? So, but when I was like really started to try to get in, so I traded them for a while, just the blue chips. But when I really started to dig into this DeFi thing, I started to search out some, YouTubers, and I was following some, but they were all hype people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That they were telling that everything was 1,000x or 100x, or this is the next 1,000x, and stuff like that. And you can read people pretty quick about how genuine they are, right? So
100%.
I found Rodney, and and to tell you the truth, at first I didn't really care for Rodney,
Okay.
but Then he won me over. He won me over pretty quick. I was like, oh man, Rodney's real dude. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
then, you know, it was Crypto Realist. It was Austin. And before the Samstorm just fell off the freaking ledge, I don't know what he bumped his head on freaking something. I watched some of his stuff, but Crypto Realist, like, he was always one of the ones where I thought, you know what, this a real dude right here. He cares about people. Him and Austin, and I was like, he cares about people. So
No, and that's what you need, people that care about their community and not just pump and dump, and that's it. It is what it is. Like, see, this is one of the reasons why I take my channel seriously, because eventually one day this is my way out of the projects along with crypto. But if by some weird reason crypto fails, I still have my YouTube channel.
yeah,
So, long story short, that's why I wouldn't, at least not intentionally, if I get played and convinced of promoting a scam, then that's a different story. But I would not intentionally go to you and be like, oh, check this project out. It's the best thing out there, knowing that it's a scam. No, I won't be able to live with myself. That's why I don't know if you noticed, but certain projects that I used to support before, I stopped supporting them. Because
I
when something doesn't add up to me, I'm out.
I I quit supporting a lot of projects too, and when they don't add up, like I don't, I'm out. Like when things start to smell funny to me, I was just reading Racket. He was telling me who he first started to stream. I caught on to Jake a little bit later. Um, you know, I caught on to Jake a little bit later. Um, and I wasn't in Saitama that long, so I didn't really watch. Like a lot of them streams from them guys. That project stunk quick to me. So like Jake and all them guys, like they were big Saitama people, and just really wasn't going to sit there and listen to that all day. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm out of projects pretty quick. I mean, if something stinks to me, I'm out, and the reason why I'm out, well,
That's that's the same way I am. Like, if it doesn't add up, I'm out. That's why at times, like, you know, if I'm honest with you, okay, if they want to pay me for promotion, cool. But at times, I don't even want to take paid promotion, because I know if it's a scam and I could tell and I could smell out a mile away, I don't give a shit how much you're paying me. I don't want it.
yeah,
Now, let's say, for example, like right now, we're all attached to MetaMonkey AI, right? And we're all involved, and we all believe in the team and everything. Um, let's say the the chain goes like this: Austin trusts the developers, we trust Austin, the community trusts us, right?
right.
And later on, something goes south. The minute I smell something weird, that's the minute where I would say, thank you, but no thank you. And that's it. And I'll stop supporting it.
See,
That's
and
the
I
way.
always at and I always ask the question. Like I always ask the question to the dev because sometimes which what I think is weird has a perfectly good explanation to it. But
Yeah,
if that explanation isn't good enough for me, then yeah, I'm out. You know what I mean? But and the reason that it's so easy for me to exit when something doesn't smell right is because I, I come from the stock world, so you're in and out, right? So
yeah,
as quick as you bought out, as quick as you just sold out, is as quick as you can buy back in. So if your assumption was wrong, you can come back in. It's not a one and done deal. Like trading's not one and done. Like if you sell, you can never buy back in. That's not how trading works. So
yeah.
sometimes you're wrong. And I've been wrong a couple times where I'm like, no, this just doesn't look right to me. I'm out. And then later on, come to find out I was wrong. And I was back in.
Hmm.
So like and that's just kind of trading that's the whole point behind trading. And at the end of the day, Waddy, guess what? It's okay to be wrong sometimes. In the
No,
crypto
that's
space,
true.
people don't believe that. But believe it or not, you can be wrong sometimes.
No, but this is the funny thing. Like even the most, like, let's talk trading aspect. Everybody's human. Everybody makes mistake, and even like I had this crazy idea that professional traders, they never miss a mark. Like, the way, if you see some of these guys, the way they make it sound is like they're making 500,000 a day or better, and they never lost, not even once. So it gets to the point where I used to be like, okay, so if I want to learn how to be a trader and I lose here, then I'm not a pro yet.
But I always say like this, and I say this in the stock market, and I say this, and it holds true in crypto. Only one person is going to buy the bottom, and only one person going to buy the top.
Yeah.
So it's not about time in the top, and it's not about time in the bottom. And so many people are so worried about time in the bottom, and so many people are so worried about time
Time
in
in
the
the
top
top. Yeah.
that they lose out on so many opportunities in between the top and the bottom. And nobody, the only, and I always say, and I say it a couple times because I really want people to understand it. Only one person is going to buy the bottom, and only one person is going to sell at the top. There will be one sell at the bottom, and there will be one buy at the bottom. And on the top, there will be one sell at the top, and there will be one buy at the top. And that's it.
And then there will be the one that does it in between.
Yeah, and that's it. That's so for you. You know how lucky you got to be that one person that buys at the bottom and sells at the top. Like,
That's true. Because even when Bitcoin dropped earlier, I thought like, damn, if I put an order at 15K, is it gonna automatically buy my order and then write it up from there? Where did Bitcoin go? 15,500 and back up.
I haven't. I looked at Bitcoin twice. I looked at Bitcoin twice today. You know, it's just the weekends are always down markets. There are always times for good deals, and you know I'll get in, I'll get some deals, I'll get out, and I'll go about my weekend. Weekend trading is always slow,
Yeah, that's true.
and
But I like this comment right here. Michael Jordan didn't make every shot, but he damn sure made most of them. That's true.
that's true, right?
Timing is everything, and most of us got lucky last year with project like Shib and Saitama. Yeah, I mean, as far as that, man, I can wait and hopefully, I can only say hopefully from what I'm seeing, with MetaMonkey AI, hopefully, if they continue the way they're going, you never know that could actually be the next top project that we can make a pretty decent amount of money. Like I
And
said, not financial advice, but
and obviously I agree with that, Waddy. But here's the thing, and my investment is like, okay, so I'm invested in MetaMonkey AI, right?
yeah,
I'm also invested in Cold Combat, right? Two
yeah,
very low market cap tokens, right? And a couple more, right? But that's 20% of my portfolio is in DGen plays. Because we're all DGens at heart, like Racket said, we are. We are all DGens. But only 20% of my portfolio is invested in DGens.
yeah,
The other 80% is spread out on what I call the top three: Bitcoin, ETH, and BNB, right? And then the rest, you know, the rest is spread out amongst, the top 100. Or
yeah.
I can even narrow that down to tell you maybe the top 25. And, so there's a couple in there that are outside of the top 25, but most of them are within the top 100. So I'm really only risking 25% or 20% of my portfolio, 20%
Hmm.
on a DGen play, you know, at any given moment. And I won't waver from that percent. Like, I have to put more money into the blue chips in order for me to play more on the meme coin side. You know, so
No, I understand because at the end of the day, blue chips have a higher percentage of sticking around than the meme.
but I only need one of the meme coins to hit to make me rich,
That's true too.
right?
That's the thing about meme tokens that a lot of people, maybe some get it, maybe some don't, but it's the fact that when it comes to meme coins, that could be the one that make your life changing money.
And that's why 20% of my portfolio is over there, because it's like playing the lotto with 20% of my money, and I'm okay with that. And out
Yep.
of that 20%, I might lose 15%. But that extra 5% might take off and make me rich. Game we play. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out of here in a minute, Waddy.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm gonna get out of here myself. I was just trying to see what was going on because this started dropping like it's hot. So, but I was trying to see if there was more news and just cover that. But hi, Daniel. Thank you for being here. Like always, I appreciate you
No
and your
problem. Thanks
insight
for
on
the
things.
link. Thanks
And
for the link. Thanks for the link, Waddy. Appreciate it.
no, no problem. If you guys haven't, I'm pretty sure majority already subscribed to Daniel Gayton channel. If you haven't, please do. So, yeah, obviously he knows his stuff too, not just here playing around, making up stories. So, great guy overall and a
Well,
friend.
good night, everybody. Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys being here.
I
Appreciate you guys listening to me ramble. Racket, you
oh
gotta
that
get
oh no, go ahead. Tell Rack and then I gotta tell you something before you leave.
Racket. You gotta get at me about what we were talking about before about that project. You gotta get at me about that because I want to know. So you gotta hit me up on the D. You gotta hit me up on the DM and you gotta let me know. I want to know what's going on, man.
Okay. And I was gonna say, so Daniel, since we are friends, this is financial advice. Don't forget to get your bag of Saitama and terrarium and therapy pre-sale, okay?
Yeah, I ain't buying that crap. I ain't buying that crap. That would be like you telling me to go buy some more and say, Tom. All right, cat. All right, you guys have a great night. Appreciate you, Waddy. Fill your terror bags up, man. Bye. Buy some more Saitama while you're at it. And buy some Say the Real tea.
I might as well, right? Shit.
All right.
All right, take care, Daniel. Have a good
Bye.
one, everyone.